For a while, I've been looking for a way to make producing faster and also more creative. If I'm, for instance, looking for a snare, I end up looking in the exact same places quite often because I know, oh, I got snares here, they're good snares. So really, I wanted to get some randomization into my production. Well, you'll be happy to know that there are some options out there that can do just that. Turns out there are some sample management plugins out there. Really? Really, Dylan? A sample manager? Is that why I clicked on this video? All right. I'm about to head out. The first one that I came across was ADSR Sample Manager. When you get this, what you want to do is start to add libraries. Once you do add a library, it will scan it and it will start to add tags. If it says snare 1, snare 2, snare 3, it'll give them all snare tags so that when you like go looking for snare, they'll all show up. For this one, this is called 2B6. So no snare in the title, but it somehow figured out that it was a snare. So it must have been like in a folder called snares, I'm assuming. It can also add multiple tags. If I wanted to add a tag, then you can do that. Let's just get rid of that tag though. Yes, I think we do want to remove that. Again, you could have done similar things in Ableton, but for people in FL Studio, this is going to be nice. It's a lot quicker than having to like go through one sample and then here are the snares and then go to a different sample. I also wanted to use it in a kind of creative way. You say like you challenge yourself to make a track or a beat and you have to use the randomly assigned samples to yourself as a sort of creative limiting method in creating a unique sound palette that I would normally not go for. Let's add some free cymatics Trap City samples. So here they go, added it in, it's given them tags. If you're just looking for one shots just like now, you'll want door sync off so that you don't get any stretching. So let's try being creative. I'm gonna use the randomly assigned samples that I get to make a beat. I'm not even gonna do any mixing, it's just about the arrangement and the sound selection. These hi-hats. I've been using a lot of the random results and be like, okay, yeah, when we came across the bass sample, it wasn't something that I was looking to put into the track, but I was like, sure, let's do it. Sometimes this happens where it gets stuck. That's a little annoying, so. Again, this weird laser sample, never would have really thought to use it. So let's talk about loops now, because this is another really interesting part. If we know this track is supposed to be 150, then we can tell the DAW sync, be in 150, show me only loops, and even if a thing wasn't in 150 BPM, like this is 140, it will stretch it so that it now plays. Now, it wasn't very in sync. However, what you can do is make a MIDI clip, a note in here, so that it will trigger exact same time as the rest of the project. So now you're using ADSR Sample Manager as a sampler. Put this up an octave. And if you wanted to have that not be in MIDI, you can just drag it out and put it back into the playlist. You can even make multiple selections if you wanted to and drag them that way. Hey, look, and now they're both there, and now it's stuck again. Yeah, you're gonna have to arrange this now and like spread it out, turn it more into just being 4 bars, but that was a really quick, fun way of getting randomized sample selection. What more can you want? And I'm doing it on a real, like, basic level. There's so much more that you can do with samples, stretching them out, adding effects to them. So because this bass note was like mostly in F, I'm gonna call the root note F as well. So now it will start to give me samples in the key, and if they're not in F, they will pitch them down so that they are in F. So it says C. Yeah. This has a huge amount of tags. This would be really good for a sound designer, someone who has like a lot of effect samples that they need, you know, boats and ships. Why do I have this? Yeah, it's really diverse with the amount of dog. Nice. Best plugin. Oh, it's loopcloud, the other sample manager plugin. There are subtle differences that maybe make loopcloud the even better one. So to start off the bat, it does the same things that I want it to do. drum sample. If I have randomization on, then they'll be in a random order. And you can do that in ADSR as well. They work in different ways though, the randomization. When you randomize in ADSR, for instance, then it just gives you a random place on the list of samples that you have. Scroll up and down, and you'll still find other samples from like the same folder. Whereas with Loopmaster, these are all like from different sample packs just thrown together into a new list. I like how they have all these tags already at the top. If you want to choose them or choose genres or BPMs, in ADSR, you usually would just have to type it. What you can do now is in the latest version is actually save these. So you could go and do save searches, so hi-hat, and then you have a custom loadout. So if you could have tons of tags. If you want something specific, that saves having to type out all the tags again. Although I do like how everything's already here, so I think I would have to give a point there to loopcloud. And then, you can hide it if you want more screen size. Also with loopcloud, you can change how it looks, color scheme, you can change it to this. You kind of specify or add at least one tag first. So for instance, I added drums, and then it'll give me everything with the drum tag. If you want loopcloud to show all your samples, then go to format and choose audio. As all your samples are audio, then they'll all show up. ADSR does seem to have a lot more tags right out of the bat. It did like a great job of adding so many tags, whereas where's the dog tag? There's no dog tag in loopcloud. Minus 15 points for no dog tag. Where it becomes interesting is how to integrate loopcloud into your DAW. Hey, we're in Ableton now. Loopcloud does the same thing as ADSR, whereas you can match things to the tempo, you can even match things to the key. So Loopcloud is a standalone application. You can't open it into Ableton, but you can open the bridge plugin. This is where Loopcloud really shines, is with how well it integrates loops into the tracks. When you play it, it will sync it up. And it also knows, it remembers the time, so if I was to play like a different loop, like it will continue on from the same spot. It won't just restart. So it's always in sync with your project. You can speed them up. You will notice though, it sounds very grainy and stretched out. Neither of them are particularly great stretching, and you're usually better off just doing it in the DAW yourself. I would like to see in both of them if they could have a resample mode, so that you can stretch them without getting any graininess. The pitch would change, but for something like percussion, hi-hats, that wouldn't really matter. Now for Loopcloud's next trick. Choose different methods of chopping this up. You can randomize it so you can get a different pattern. And you can also edit them yourself. You can add fades, turn them up and down, and reverse them. You can now like apply this sort of chopping pattern to every single loop that you put in here now. Because it's all chopped up, you can't just drag the original sample anymore, or it will just be what it was before. Instead, you can drag the processed version, and it will have the correct tempo, the correct chopping of exactly everything that you did. And it's smart enough to know that when you drag it in, then it stops playing it here so that you don't hear it twice. Whenever you do that, it makes a new sample file. It does it like straight away at C, Loopcloud. I'd probably change this. When you're using the bridge plugin, if you are trying to use it for one-shots, just make sure it's not connected. Otherwise, then they just tend to loop, even if loop isn't on. Let's say you want to make your own loops. Okay, we have like a random selection. All of these, put them into the drum rack, put a arpeggiator and a randomizer. Made some glitchy percussion stuff. Super quick. You could probably do the same in ADSR because it does allow you to select multiple things. Create tag for an instrument. Dog. And give it blue, and it's a blue dog. Hey, there it is, blue dog. Dog's right at the top, right there. We did it, guys. We added the dog tag. So maybe you've already made your mind up of which one you like more. Maybe you want to try them both out. In either case, for a sample manager to be effective, you need samples. So that's where the Cymatics Trap City sample pack comes in. It's free, add it, chant, and you can start using it just like how I've been using it in this video. So in personal news, I'll be performing at Molotov on May 10th. Hopefully see you again soon. So take care. Bye.